oh heck, a DS version of one of my favorite games for the Game Boy Advance. I'm gonna talk about this and talk about how great it is. Why do I do this to myself? So this video is gonna be a bit unconventional for what I normally do, just because I don't actually have a script for it. So you probably already experienced like a jump cut. There might be a lot of those. Apologies in advance. Well, that's just how things are gonna go today. Normally I write a script and then I like decide what's gonna be live action and what's just gonna be like voiceover, but today I'm just kind of going whatever, just because this game doesn't really deserve a script. I thought Witch's Wish was bad, but this game is just like a whole nother level of I don't want to play it ever again. I played this game as a kid, and I really enjoyed it, and I actually ended up buying the Game Boy Advance version of it, just because I remember enjoying it a lot as a kid, and I played it. I don't remember if I played it a lot, but I played it, and I liked it. It's like if I was wearing rose-colored glasses. It's not like I took them off or anything, it's like the game punched me in the face and knocked them off my face that way. That's how much this game sucks. And it's really, really crappy, because the game is really cute. Like, I can see the appeal in it, the art is really nice, but it's so bad. There's also like touchscreen controls that you can use, or you can just be like a sane person and use the actual like buttons, which is great because I didn't have to touch anything. And I hate touchscreen controls, which is ironic because I really like the DS, but I don't like touchscreen controls. Let me move around with the D-pad, like please, why? Why do this? So the game starts off with you going to get your little puppy, and you get to the pet store and you can choose between like this like already selected amount of dogs, or if you don't find the dog that you like, you can just request a dog that you specifically want, which is what I did. I asked for a border collie with gray coloring, just because it reminded me the closest of my actual dog. You leave the pet store and you come back the next Sunday and you get the dog and you take him home and you name him. I name mine Tucker because Tucker is a good name, whereas my current dog's names are Rory and Amy, and those are people names. Those aren't dog names, those are people names. You get your dog and you start taking care of it, and it's basically how you would take care of a dog. You feed it, you give it water, you take it for walks, you clean up after it, you brush it, you play with it, all that sort of stuff. But whereas like in Nintendogs, where that's fun to do, this is just like a really horribly boring, dumbed down version of it. And the worst thing is, whereas Nintendogs is like in real time and you can just kind of do whatever, in this game, the time goes by really quickly, so it's really hard to take care of your dog. Especially since there are like these random events that happen out throughout the game, where like your parents will talk to you and give you gifts, or there will be a phone call, and throughout all of this, it takes like anywhere from like 10 minutes to 30 in-game minutes to like go through this cutscene. And it got really frustrating towards the end, where I would get home from a walk with my dog, and then suddenly my mother would want to talk to me and give me a gift for how great I was doing at taking care of this little pupper. And then it would become dinner, and I needed to feed my dog beforehand, but now it's dinner. So now my dog is starving. It's so frustrating when you're trying to take care of this dog and there are all of these like event obstacles that are in your way of you being able to manage this time. It got to the point where I ended up having to feed my dog before breakfast every morning, because if I didn't, I would leave for school and my dog would go hungry. It is just not, it's not a good system. Like, I don't think the event should have taken up time. Another thing about the game is you can take your dog for walks, and there are two things that you can do while taking your dog for walks. You can head to the pet store, where on weekends you can compete in a talent show, I guess. You just like show off the tricks that your dog knows, or a race competition type thing. The race competition, which you head down to the park to do, is alright, but it got really frustrating because your dog doesn't follow you, and you can't train your dog to follow you. So there are like these divider things that you have to like loop around, and you have to get your dog to loop around them too, But no matter how often I trained, my dog never followed me through these loops, so I would have to call him. And I would call him, and then he would get stuck halfway. So I would have to go back and call him again, and I'd have to call him like 3 times just to get him through this thing. And then there were times where his AI would just mess up and he would just get stuck there. And it was really frustrating because this race was timed. So something that should have taken me like maybe 30 seconds took me a minute and a half because my dog kept getting stuck on certain things. And I wish that you could have trained your dog to just follow you, but he never did. Or if he did follow you, he would walk super slowly and then he would get just a little bit too close to you, and he would stop and he would bark and he would be like, oh my god, I love you. And then I got to the pet store and I competed in the competition and I lost, and I was like, how did I lose? My dog knew all of these tricks and he was super clean, and I bathed him and I took care of him and he loved me, and it was full and everything was full. There was nothing else I could do. And they were like, clean your dog better. And I was like, okay, so I cleaned my dog better. And then I got back and I lost again. I was like, what did I do this time? So they tell me, and they're like, you gotta be friendlier with your dog. So I'm like, okay. So I reload, and I'm friendlier to my dog, and everything again is at 5 hearts. And I go back, and then they're just like, well, yeah, you did everything, but you still lost. And I'm like, that's garbage! The game cheated me out of first place, because I guess it just didn't want me to win. So I ended up just like forgetting about it because it was just frustrating. At the end of it, I actually went back and action replayed it to see if it was possible. And even though I had action replayed it to be my dog to be like the most perfect dog in the entire world, I still lost. So the game 100% cheated me out of first place. I won all the race competitions though, because they can't cheat me out of first place. I'm bitter about the talent show. Another thing that you can do is you make friends with the other dogs by walking past them, and then you can invite them to a birthday party. Not a birthday party, just a regular party. But I never really understood it because it's just a little girl, and she's walking past these like older adults, and now she's inviting these older adults to her house, and that just doesn't seem like something you should be teaching your children. Like, oh yeah, just come over to my house with your dog, and it doesn't matter if you're 40 years old. It's fine. Just come over. I'm 10. Like, that's just not good. That's not a thing you should be teaching people. It also wastes the entire day, so the minute you finish this party, your dog is suddenly starved and thirsty. And you're like, whoops, sorry dog, I guess I didn't feed you the entire time at this party. I'm a little girl, I'm 10. This game is interesting. And again, like, everything takes time, and it's really frustrating when you're like training your dog, or you're trying to feed your dog. Because if your dog decides, I need to poop, you have to watch it poop. Like, constantly. And your dog goes poop like twice a day, so you have to watch it poop twice a day. And then you have to clean it up. And that takes like 20 minutes for some reason. It takes 20 minutes for this little girl to clean up her dog's poop. So I can't like train my dog for that extended period of time. Not only that, you only have like a certain amount that you can train your dog before your dog gets tired. So it's just this like constant like time management. And instead of a cute little game where you take care of your dog, you're constantly watching the clock thinking, oh god, I don't have enough time to do everything. It's not fun at the end of it. Speaking of the end, I played this game through all the way through because I had heard a rumor that if you didn't take care of your dog well enough, your dog will die. I luckily took care of my dog pretty well because I am an adult. The reward for such a thing was like, let's just see how you did. And the dog, like this little info box is like, hey, yeah, your dog loves you and it didn't die and it wasn't starved at all. Good job. You want a reward? Your reward is another save slot to play through for another 30 days. That's like skipping over a bunch of lava and then being, hey, your reward is lava. Like, that's what they did. They dumped lava on me. And it hurt a lot. And I wanted to die. Going back to it, your dog, if you don't take care of it well enough, or like, you see too many events before you're able to feed your dog, it just dies on you. In Nintendogs, it just runs away. But in Dogz, it's dead. It's a little morbid for a cute little dog game. with cute little characters. Oh, this game is so bad. This game would be great for a week. Like, if it was just like, take care of this dog for a week, or even a week and a half for 2 weeks. Take care of this dog for 2 weeks. Let's see how you do, and then you get a new thing or something. But it's just the same thing over and over again, and it's not good. Don't buy this game. Just buy Nintendogs. That's what Nintendogs is there for. I don't know if it was a launch title for the DS, but it's better than this. It's like 1,000 times better than this. Because you can own multiple dogs at one time, and they don't die on you. One of these days I'll play something fun. One of these days.